Hey friends, it's Jen here. Listen, this is not a professional videographer thing. This is me holding my iPhone in the middle of a pandemic, and I don't know about you, but this quarantine days, they kind of run together. So I want to offer you some faith and encouragement in the midst of all this fear. So I'm coming to you from my house on a bench my grandfather made for me. Maybe not the best videography, but just wanting to offer some hope and encouragement to your heart. And I want to take us through some chapters in Joshua and how the people of Israel went from what could be fear stops to faith steps. And listen, they had experienced how fear had kept them stuck from the promised land before. You can read about that in Exodus. They were trying to get to the promised land, and some people went in and gave a false report of the spies or what seemed real, actually. The giants are big and we're small, and they didn't get to go in the promised land. But in Joshua, they're about to enter the promised land again, and I believe on the end of this world pandemic, God has to do something bigger than we could ever ask or imagine. And it's easy to give up hope right now and to get lost in the fear. So we're just going to take some of these chapters and be like the Israelites, standing on the edge and saying, okay, there has to be a promised land on the other side. But we're standing on the edge in the now and worried about the next. And so we're going to dive into these chapters and I want to offer a little hope in these days of moving from fear stops to faith. And so we're going to start with Joshua 1. Again, not professional videos, so ignore the road noise or the birds I would laugh so hard if a bird came and pooped on my head right now. It's me, guys. You guys know that would not be surprising. But Joshua 1. So Joshua has just been given the command, you're taking over for the people, from Moses, who was the bigwig who led the people for long, long years through the wilderness. Can you imagine the fear Joshua might be feeling? Because it's unknown. The next season is unexperienced yet. Lots of what's going to happen next as we take this journey. Will God be faithful to his promises? Will we see the promised land? Will we get to walk into it? Will we get to settle in it? Will we get to see the promises of God fulfilled? And Joshua, needed lots of wisdom, lots of, there had to be fear. And how do I lead these people? And maybe you are right now thinking, how do I lead my family well through this? Maybe you're single and you're thinking, how do I lead myself through this? Listen, when I said single, a ray of light came down. Did you see that? The Lord's looking down on me. But Joshua, he's in this new position, this new time of unprecedented walking into the next, not exactly sure how that will look like. And I love how in Joshua 1, God comes alongside and speaks to Joshua, and he says, I'm taking you over into the Jordan. I'm going to take you over into the next stages of your life. The world is about to enter into a whole new normal after this season. And Joshua's standing there like, you're about to enter into a new normal, and every place I will give you. And then he goes on to say in verse 6, be strong and courageous. And I think he started out that way because he knew Joshua probably wasn't feeling very strong. And then if you go on to chapter 1, verse 9, it says, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So I want to start day 1 from fear to faith, encouraging you. The Lord your God is with you wherever this goes. He is with you. He is the same. He has not changed. He sees you. He knows your family. He knows your footsteps. He knows your promised land, and he is with you, and he is walking us through these unknowns. And I believe he said that to Joshua because he knew Joshua would be afraid, and he wasn't condemning him. He was in love, saying, I am with you in this command. I am with you. That's why you cannot be afraid. I am with you. And right now, the God of the universe is with you, friends. And may you find some courage in Joshua 1:9, that same God that was with Joshua as they walked into the unknown is walking with you during this unknown.